Hello everyone, I'm Kahmeela.
I'm Marcella.
And welcome to episode 145 of Revisiting Sunnydale. If you want to keep up with us, you can do it on Facebook, Revisiting Sunnydale, Twitter at Back2Sunnydale, Instagram at RVS_podcast, and our Patreon, patreon.com/Revisiting Sunnydale. And you can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But if you're listening on Spotify in particular, make sure to hit the bell icon so you can get alerts when a new episode is up. We only have a few more episodes left, and Revisiting Sunnydale will be going away, but we'll be coming back as something else. We don't know yet as to what that is. But
No.
we'll be sure to keep up with us so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, it's not that we want to go away. It's just that the show is coming to an end and there's no show left. And the comics are not worth going through. It's just, the shenanigans that happen in those comics. I mean, Xander and Dawn as a couple? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend it doesn't exist.
Right, and we've touched on it here and there, you've expressed some of your feelings about the comics. I have not delved into them. I'm not prepared to do that. And also,
Nope.
I think I might need a Buffy break.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but they're worth a fortune. If you guys own the compilation, the Dark Horse compilation ones, for some reason, a lot of them are out of print, and some of them are going on eBay for $250 a piece.
I have them.
Me too. For how much longer? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I like new equipment, so
Exactly. It's they just sitting here collecting dust on my
Right?
shelf. So
Right?
I can do a quick read through, and they can be on their happy little way.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, and if anyone is listening, you want to buy them, come at your girls.
Come at your girls. Mint condition, because
right.
we take care of our shit. So
Yeah, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I think 3 and 4 are still in the plastic.
And a couple of that, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I read them, because I'm not one that likes to flatten out.
Right.
But don't fuck up the spine. Why you gotta mess
Right.
up the spine?
Don't break the spine. Listener mail. We have some listener mail, and we have a gentleman, I believe. I'm assuming that he, identifies as male. Sorry if I'm wrong. Eric Servant has some what ifs that he wanted to share with us.
Yes.
Willow's
So if you know, let's tell them what a what if is.
Yeah,
So
what if.
I think the basic premise from this came around that Marvel Studios has a comic line called What If, where they take the Marvel characters and they put them in what if scenarios. And I actually would love to apply this to every single fandom that I love, including Star Wars, Harry Potter. It just fits everything. Look at Psych. What if?
Yeah.
Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, what if Gus was the one who was faking the
Right. What
psychic
if
abilities?
Sean became a cop? An actual, honest to goodness, damn detective. It didn't just fuck about.
And what if he didn't get Lassie's little girlfriend fired when he first got there?
Right. So, of that, Eric has shared some what ifs for Buffy.
Yes. And one of them, he shared quite a few, but one of them was Willow's journey into witchcraft is a big part of her story arc. But what if she took a different route? I could see her. Is this you or him? This is him.
This is,
I could see her delving more into fringe science and pseudoscience and how they apply to the supernatural, basically becoming the Fitzsimmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of the Buffyverse. Willow would have definitely created actual ghost-busting equipment. What do you think would have happened if Willow was into fringe science instead of witchcraft?
I actually love that. She would have been their guy in the chair. She would have been their woman in the chair. I don't know if you're Alias fans, but she would have been their marshal, creating things for Buffy to use. Since the Buffy the Buffy show decided to move away from Buffy's cramps as her vamp detector, I still think that idea was good. So I think Willow would have come up with something to detect vampires. I think it's a great idea, and I think it would have been amazing. My other favorite
idea of her, the idea just in general of her having some sort of honing device.
Yes.
Something that would not necessarily cramps.
Right, not necessarily cramps. It's just this
Right.
supernatural thing that it's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah.
And,
And
I love it. I love it so much.
and he also adds a what if Xander learned witchcraft and sorcery to compensate for his lack of physical skills? How do you think he would have functioned as a sorcerer? Would he follow a similar path, good and bad, as Willow did? Xander cannot be trusted with witchcraft. We saw that in, what is it? Bothered, what was it?
Bewitched, bewildered, and bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think, like, Willow always had, like, I mean, eventually she goes down a dark path, but there's a reason behind it for her dark path. But she's always been more reserved and more responsible with the witchcraft. Like, from the get-go, she was about it. Xander would have been just like, oh, fucking about left and right, casting unnecessary spells here and there. It would not have been good.
No, and I know exactly what would have happened. It would not have been a trio. It would have been a quad, because Xander would have fell in with Warren, Andrew, and Jonathan.
True story, because he would have actually absolutely gotten too big for his britches. He would have he would have got crazy with Buffy, like started talking out the side of his mouth to her, talking about how she's nothing without him, and you know he's more powerful, blah blah blah. Yeah, you're right. He would have fallen in with Warren and them.
My biggest personal what if is, what if Joyce would have believed Buffy from the beginning?
She'd probably still be alive.
Possibly. I still think the monks had a lot to do with what happened to Joyce.
But,
messing with her poor brain.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100%. I 100%. I blame the monks for Joyce's death. But for some reason, like, I feel like that her knowing before all that happened, like, I feel like it would have helped a little bit. Like, maybe like having some of that pre-existing knowledge already there.
Yep, understanding like the late nights and the fights and what goes on at school and.
Like shoving a fake kid like in her brain, like all these memories, and not knowing like what you like. I don't know. That was just too much for poor Joyce. Too much.
And just imagine the natural path. She could all the late nights working with Giles, trying to figure out the next case. Mommy
Giles
and
would have been
Daddy.
stepdaddy.
Yes, it would have been wonderful. It would have been wonderful. I can see it now.
So thank you, Eric.
Yes, thank you, Eric, for the wonderful long nights of me thinking of all these different what-if scenarios.
All right, kids. So once again, thanks, Eric. That was fun. And if anybody else has anything they want us to, you have questions or you just have your 2 cents you want to put in about Buffy, you can send us an email at revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com. So on to season 7. On to season 7, episode 19, Empty Places. Original air date April 29th, 2003. Written by Drew Z. Greenberg. Directed by James A. Contner. When they all start throwing in initials.
Like, how many Drew Greenbergs and James Contners are there in the industry that you had to specify? Calm down, kids.
It's like, relax. After their horrifying loss at the vineyard, the gang turned against Buffy and began to follow Faith instead. Meanwhile, Spike and Andrew travel to an old church to question a priest about Caleb. Our important guest stars are Tom Lenk as Andrew, Kennedy, is he in here?
Yeah, he is.
DB Woodside is Robin Wood. James C. Leary as Clem. Dorian Missick, police officer. I know, like, where is he from?
I can't figure it out. That's why I added him to this, but I know his face. I just don't know why I know his
me
face.
Too. Yeah, Justin Shilton as Monroe, another police officer.
How come he gets a name and Dorian doesn't? How come Dorian's credited as police officer and Justin Shilton's gets credited as Monroe?
I've seen him in something too.
Yeah, you have. Angel. That's Billy.
Thank you.
That's Billy.
Thank you. Okay.
And I realized it while I was watching this show, and then when I saw the trivia for later, I was like, yep, it's Billy.
There it is. Okay. All right. So I guess around this time, Marcella has reminded me that, a little personal story time, This is around this air date is when we met James and
Yep.
stupid Kennedy face.
Yep. We went to a convention in...
Both Jameses.
Both Jameses. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot James Leary was there, too.
Yeah.
And that's why I remembered it. I remember talking, I guess I forgot that it was him that we were talking to about, like, this episode. I think this episode had just aired or was about to air. And, yeah, so we met James, the legend that is Andy Hallett, that was Andy Hallett, and Kennedy was there trying to soak up our time.
But it was glorious. It was my very first convention. Was it yours?
No, it was my second.
Okay. Yeah, so it was my very first one.
I had met Giles at the
specifically
one
Buffy.
before that, the year before.
That's right. And yeah, it was a glorious time. I don't think we stayed the night, but like it was amazing. I feel like it was just up in Cleveland, and we just drove up there for the day and then came back.
I think we had a room, though, because Jen didn't go to the dinner with us. It was just us at the dinner, and she was back at the hotel.
Right on. Yes.
And we got to sit in between James' dinner. It was great. He ate with two forks, which was weird.
20 years ago?
Yeah. Yep.
20 years ago? So anyway, Empty Places.
Like my soul.
Everyone's leaving Sunnydale in waves. Everyone's leaving Sunnydale in waves. It's like backed up traffic jam, luggage on the top of the cars. Like, I don't care about my mortgage anymore type
Nope.
exodus.
Everyone has said, fuck it.
Finally. At the same time. Everyone has finally sees that Sunnydale's not a safe place.
Nope. But what's funny is Clem is also fleeing, just out in the open, not wearing a hat. He's just in a car. Demons are like, I'm out.
Right.
Well, we're out too. Hey,
Right.
can I get in? Can I merge?
Like, can I help? Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. And what's funny is I find it hilarious that he's driving like a bright red Volkswagen Beetle.
It's so cute. And he's got a flannel on. He's dressed like
I know,
a rock band, like a Seattle rock band member.
Yes. Roadie. But he runs into Buffy, who's just like, strolling through town. And he's like, this is bad, but, whatever. And then he like fakes, but I have faith in you.
Yeah.
No, you can do this. It's the apocalypse. But, he's like, if everything gets better, or I mean, when you win, I'll come back. We'll come back and have some drinks.
She appreciates the pep talk.
Right. Yeah.
Because she
Meantime,
definitely
Willow's
is having
casting spells.
She's having a moment. She's having a Buffy moment,
She is.
feeling bad for herself. Well, you fucked up, Buffy. You done fucked up.
Like hard, and a lot of people had to pay the price. Thanks. You're still walking around having all of your limbs and
She doesn't even have any
both eyeballs
bruises.
and things. I know, no scratches, not a limp, nothing. While other folks are in casts and eye patches. Willow has cast a spell in the police department to get some information about Caleb, I think.
This poor man, his brain is going to be mush. Because her control is slipping, so she has to keep like putting him under this spell. And
So messed up.
it's, again, this is a power. When did she learn this? When she was off at Hogwarts? In the English countryside with him? Because she's never done this before. We've never seen her do this before. It could have been very useful in other situations.
Right.
But they don't even actually learn anything from him.
But I'm confused why their police department is called Metropolitan Police Department and not Sunnydale
Sunnydale PD.
Police Department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not big enough. It's not a metropolitan.
The SPD.
I'm going to blame that on the set designers. Not really.
Not really paid. We just have these left over from the other lot, from the other show, from another show over there. It's just,
Now, my big question of the episode comes in. I don't think they mention it, but we go to the hospital and Willow is there holding Xander's hand while he's got his eye patch on and he's feeling a certain way. And Buffy comes over and does not want to be there at all.
No, she's just all about business. Like, okay, the medicine, the doctor, thanks for the information on Kate that you found out. All right, I'm going to go.
But where are his parents? Or anyone
That is
in
a
his
great
family?
question. That is a great question.
Like, I don't...
It's like we could not get... We couldn't get the actress who played his mom at the wedding to just come in.
Right.
Take a little... Just to leave the room, just somebody bump into her in the hallway. Just let us know that he's there. She's there,
Right.
that he has people.
Even if we just hear her say, I guess you're just not going to tell me anything, right? Like she did the whole time at
Right.
the wedding. You know, but...
Right. Or, somebody make mention of it. Like, Xander's mom just left to go get coffee.
Right.
Just one line.
One line.
That's...
Because I know for damn sure my mom would be asleep in that chair right behind Willow.
Absolutely.
She wouldn't have left.
No. In the meantime, Willow was trying to... Buffy's like, all right, I'm out. I'm leaving. And Willow was hoping that they'd all get to hang out and, just basically be there to be supportive for Xander. And Buffy's like, I got stuff to do. And she leaves.
Yep.
And then Xander and Willow have this little moment where Xander does what he does and starts with the humor to try to make things better. And there's all these self-depreciating jokes about pirates and senses.
Not being able to see
and all that.
Jaws 3D ever again. And
it's so heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking.
Like the little moment. And Willow starts to well up. And then I start to well up. And Xander's like, please don't.
Oh, Willow, please. He's a lot nicer than me. Oh, Willow, please don't. Bitch. It's hard enough. You cry, then I'm going to cry. Especially Willow.
Right. It's like, and I don't know how this whole crying thing works with just like a fresh eye that's been removed.
Ooh,
like,
I didn't even think about that. Ew.
It might hurt like a lot.
Ew.
Like, I don't know how, I don't...
Is it even able to cry?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't like eyeball things, so I'm not going to like look it up ever.
No.
But if somebody wants to send us an email or something,
Sure.
Because I'm not Googling eyeball anything
No.
because I don't want the imagery.
I don't need that algorithm.
Nope. There are so many things that I have questions about that, everyone's always like, just Google
Nope.
it. No, never.
No thanks.
I will. I don't want
Nope.
to be on that list.
No.
I don't want to fuck up.
Because I'm too inquisitive, and it's not just let's Google that. There's the Wikipedia definition. Nope, my ass has to do a deep dive. No, thank you.
There's podcasts and YouTube
Right.
videos involved, and there's like...
No.
The next thing you know, it's just nothing but just like weird shit
Yep.
all up in your
Yep.
stuff all the time.
Oh, so there's a class going down at Junior Hogwarts in the basement, and Anya's trying to teach
some
the
reason,
girls. She's doing a decent job.
I mean, I guess nobody was available.
Yeah.
But nobody was available. It just feels like Andrew and Anya aren't the best choices to lead this.
Well, Willow's at the hospital with Xander. Buffy's who knows where, and Faith is not interested.
Faith is Faith.
Right.
She's like, not today. No thank you.
But, I mean, DB Woodside isn't busy. The school is closed. You're the perfect person to be over here training these girls.
Like, that school is so closed. Yeah. But, Anya being Anya. Anya's gonna Anya.
And she starts telling them way too much about her sex life. She was going well, but everyone looked concerned, and she's telling them, you know what? We'd all like to be somewhere else. I'd rather be at the hospital with my very confusing ex-fiance. And it's at that...
Then she goes into about their makeup
Yeah,
sex
too much.
that they had on that cot right over there that several of the poor potentials are sitting on. And they rightfully get up and discuss, like...
But Buffy comes back
So yeah.
with all the information that she got at the hospital from Willow. And, of course, poor Dawn is like, how's Xander? And Buffy's like, I don't care. We got real stuff to...
It's so messed
It's so
up.
messed up.
So messed up. Like, Dawn is like literally, like, she is just like desperate for some sort of information about her friend Xander,
Oh, yeah.
and Buffy's like,
Her future boo
she
thing.
didn't even lock eyes
Blech.
with her.
Gross. They have a baby, you guys. They have a baby. It's so gross. If I have to suffer, so does everybody else.
I'm taking everyone with me.
So Faith actually picks up the file. I love this little moment because she sits there and studies that file. And
Right,
it's a
like,
weird
Faith,
little...
look at
yeah,
you
look at
growing.
go with the growth. I love it. And then Buffy all up in her feelings again. I don't know why why did she go back to the school? Did she think she forgot some paperwork or something there?
I think they were asking too many questions about Xander, and she's like, I gotta go. There's some stuff at the school, I gotta go. Some of my stuff is still at the school, I gotta pick up. It's like, girl.
What, your pencil cup?
That's a piss poor
What
excuse.
you need?
Right. It's like,
The picture of Xander?
it's like you worked there for... Right. You worked there for about a total of 12 hours. How much stuff did you accumulate that you have to go back and get it? That you didn't pick up the first day when DB let you go? Like, come on now. And when she's there, like, the school is, like, so empty. It's, like, vacant, like, spooky empty. And for whatever reason, Caleb shows up for some taunting. Just,
I don't like all of the words that
gonna
come out
come
of
here.
his mouth. And it's so hard not to watch with today's glasses on.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's like, he's just... And especially, like, delivered from, like, because Nathan Fillion has this, like, shaggy boy, like, incest, inbred type haircut happening. Like, he's from the deep hills somewhere. No shade to anybody from the deep hills.
Right.
I don't know. But, yeah, he's just, like, so fucking offensive. Like, everything he says.
And he's so good at it.
He's talking to... I know. But, you know, what really fucked me up, and I don't know if it's just I've been reading too much dark romance novels. But he says this line, and I'm very torn about it, but she fights. She decides to start fighting him. She throws a punch, and he's like, meh, doubtful. But he snatches her by her neck, and he says that, I'm going to take such pleasure in taming you. And I was conflicted by that in that moment.
I was just like, what?
Wow, and he throws her through a window.
I mean, let's be honest. We like a bad boy. We do. And
yes, we do.
there is something disgustingly hot about him at times, and I hate it. I hate that about myself. It makes me nauseous. But
right, yes, I know. Right, it doesn't take away from the fact that
it's so wrong.
And it's
and the whole time I'd be like, oh shit! Why does this? No, I'm gonna hit you.
No. But had Spike said it, it'd be a whole different story. It's just a little different because Caleb is not one to, like, I've never really seen it for Nathan Fillion, and his Caleb character is definitely not it.
Such sweet pleasure in taming you.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to fuck her up. He fucks her up bad, like it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know why she decides to start anything with him. Like, I mean, you already had a taste of everything.
Yeah.
Buffy, you came fresh from an ass whooping. Like, ma'am.
And what's great is he's just like, he throws her out through a window into a wall that cracks, and she's just out on the floor, and he's just like, bye.
See you
Toodles. Have a good sleep. He might as well have just put a blanket over her and been like, nighty night.
Yeah. I don't even know why he was there, though. Like, he just came to taunt. Like, this is just to do the villain thing. This is my evil plan. Guess what I'm going to do? How much I'm going to make you suffer? Ooh, it's going to be great.
I can only think that maybe she was walking into the school and he just saw her walk in and was like, oh, this will be fun. Yeah, because Alice, how did he had to have been following her or something. Like, what was he doing? Well, okay. I forgot that the Hellmouth entrance is in the basement. So He
Oh,
might have
yeah.
been doing
So
some shit.
maybe the paths just
Yeah.
crossed. He was just like, oh, two
Yep.
birds. Hey, I was just here to pick up some evil
Yeah.
files from my minion. Picking up a couple more bringers, and look what I found, Buffy.
And speaking of finding things,
So,
Giles found a great sweater. It's a Chris Evans cable knit sweater.
it is outstanding, sir. You look amazing in that sweater.
And can we talk
Thank
for
you very
just a
much for
hot
your
second?
contribution.
Do you watch Ted Lasso? You watch?
Oh yeah,
He looks great.
he does, but I am very much concerned about his health. He's got a weird limp.
He
happening.
does.
Like I don't know if he came fresh out of a hip replacement or something.
I also love, did you see
But,
the interview where he was like, I do not have a scar in my forehead. I turned 40 and my skin cracked. And that is just what that is. And it just keeps getting deeper the older he gets, to where it does look like a really horrific scar across his head now.
Yeah,
Poor guy. His skin cracked, baby. That's okay.
But yeah, I highly recommend Ted Lasso. That was like the perfect 3 seasons, and all of it just like mwah, perfection. And the way I wept at that series finale, I hadn't cried like that since Friends ended, like for a series finale.
There's not many times I say a show is perfect. That show is perfect.
Ted Lasso was perfect. And I don't care what anybody says. Like, people online have been talking about how season 3 wasn't so great, blah, blah. It was perfect. Like, each character written to perfection, performed to perfection. And, like, yes, that is my jam.
Just go watch it. Trust us.
So back to Buffy. Back to Giles and his sweater. More importantly, Dawn found some stuff. Found some information.
Doing her little Junior Slayer thing.
Junior Watcher.
Yeah, Junior Watcher. You're right, Junior Watcher. Yeah. And they're going to send somebody to go find this. They found in a knothole on a church Caleb's symbol.
His ring symbol.
And so we've got to go investigate it.
Yes, but what's more important that's happening? What's really the sinister thing that's going on? There is someone stealing
food. There is a food thief in this house, and damn it, Andrew wants to get to the bottom of it because he put his name on that damn. Was it a meatball hot pocket?
Yes. And he comes to Mr. Giles. Faith, even though I put my name on it, Faith took my meatball hot pocket. And it's so fun. Like, this is just happening kind of in the background. And, Andrew is not letting it go. Like, Dawn and Giles are talking about the important clue they found. And Andrew is like, let's talk about my hot pocket. He goes to the fridge and he's like, see, the Post-it's still there, but the box is empty. It says, do not eat. This is Andrew's, which... double fuck you, Faith. Like, leave the empty box. You take my man's last hot pocket and leave the empty box. That's just, come on now. Come on, son. And then, like, we move to the conversation moves to the other room, and Xander is like pouting in the background, and Faith walks in finishing the hot pocket, and Andrew
he gives her such stink eye.
Andrew just the dirty side eye he gives her is
chef's kiss perfection.
So Giles tells Spike that he wants to send him to go look at this old church, and rightfully so. Spike is a little suspicious. He's like, do you plan on me coming back from this mission?
He's like, of course. Take Andrew with you. And he's like, not installing confidence that I'm coming back. Like, that means nothing.
That means
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You could, like, Andrew, come on.
All I am sure of is that you're not asking him to kill me.
Right.
And I'm surprised that Andrew right away wasn't like, yeah, let's go. But he's like, what? Why? I don't want to.
Wanna. Why do I have to?
Can we just talk about my hot pocket?
They talk him into it. It's like, you always say. Right. He's like, well, when are we going to get to this food thief? He's like, Andrew, you're always talking about how you want to get out of the house. And Spike, Andrew is like a demon expert. Like, this is perfect. Like, you guys go. And then the girls are kind of like whining and they're all like, unsettled and whatnot. And so Faith is like, you know what? These girls needed some night off. So what does she do? She
does Faith things. Because
she
even though the town was evacuating at 8 a.m. this morning, there are still lecherous dudes at the Bronze this evening.
This is a true statement. I didn't even connect the dots. Like, I'm pretty sure like 75% of the residents left this morning, and y'all are still hanging around here trying to.
And you brought
Predators.
Nerf Herder to play at the Bronze, which if you don't know, Nerf Herder is the band that does the theme song, and they're there playing some music. Because this is the last night that the Bronze will be open. I guess this is the Bronze's like final show or something.
Last hurrah.
But Buffy comes home and she's like, what the fuck? Where is everybody? I gave y'all work to do and now I'm hurt. My butt hurts. And Giles is like, you're limping a bit. You all right? She's like, I'm not all right. I just got my ass kicked again.
Like, not okay. Like, but you know what? He tried to tell you not to do it, Buffy. He warned you. He's like, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But you wanted to feel feisty. And so Giles tells her that I sent Spike on a mission, and she's like, is he supposed to come back? I was like, you know what, y'all? Let it go. Right?
And she's like, you know what? I'm sick of this.
I set this dude up one time. One time I set him up to be murdered for some vengeance from the man who's mother. One time.
And all Buffy sees is that he has sent away the one person that's watching her back.
Excuse you, ma'am?
Ooh. That one sentence sets the rest of this episode on. It's like, this is it. That's it. We're done now. Oh, we done, bitch.
You know what?
Oh.
You know what? If I was Giles, I just would have packed up my shit. You know what?
You know what?
I got you. I got you. I'm going to pack up my stuff. I'm
right?
going back to the
right?
London.
I'm going back to my estate. I forgot to feed my horse.
I don't need this.
Willow, teleport me home.
The one person who's watching my back.
All right.
Ooh.
You wait till I tell everybody else. And we go back to the Bronze, and Amanda is plastered.
She is accidentally drunk. She is telling Faith about how much she is so cool. I love this lady. She's great. She's the coolest. Blah, blah,
she obviously got a drink from one of those guys.
Yeah. And Faith is like, yo, how old are you? And Amanda's 17, and she's like,
yeah, but let me take that drink.
This wasn't all right, because this wasn't supposed to be like this. I wasn't trying to get you. I wasn't trying to participate in underage drinking.
And then the Metropolitan Police Department shows up, and this is a scary scene. This scene was scary then, and it hits a little differently now.
Yeah.
Because they are extraordinarily rough with her. Even, I mean, she's a Slayer, but still.
Right. She's still she's a girl.
And they drag her out of the Bronze. And she's like, you know what? Fuck, I'm not going back to jail. It's not going to happen.
You won't take me, copper.
And we hear a bunch of guns cock, and we never said anything about jail. They were just going to kill her. They're going to murk her in the street.
Yeah, straight up. They were going to... In the back alleys behind the Bronze. And there's like, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them? Like, did we need to roll this deep for one?
And they left one dude in the Bronze with a shotgun to make sure that nobody else goes outside. Which, I know there are a lot of potentials in here, but there are also other people. Like just regular citizens that were there to party at the Bronze.
Right. Exactly. It's like, we don't have nothing to do with this. I'm not a Slayer.
Nope.
I don't know anything about this. Never was, never gonna be.
Nope. And Dawn, big ups to Dawn. She was like,
Yeah.
Not today. We ain't doing this.
Not on my watch. She's like, I'm gonna go call somebody. And I'm going to speak. Let me speak to your
She went
manager.
1,000% Karen real quick. And he decides to shoot up the place. And that's when all the other girls are like, no, we are not doing this. And even Amanda gets all up in his face. No, she's suddenly not accidentally drunk anymore.
She's pretty sober. It's a sobering experience. And while this is going on, Faith is like whooping off in the cops' asses in the alleyway.
She's fine.
You know, she's fine.
And the girls do come out and they do assist. She didn't need their help, but they do help her. And of course, this is when Buffy decides to show up. Just as it looks like Faith has just attacked all these cops. The girls come out all drunk.
Right.
And instead of...
Like Faith just took them to go...
Right. And instead of Faith saying, no, they just came in the club and dragged me out here and they were going to kill me, she responds with, we were just blowing off steam. Which is exactly why Buffy gets all shitty. Say more words.
Say more words, Faith.
And then they have another Buffy and Faith conversation in the alley. Except it doesn't go like it normally does, where Buffy just shits all over Faith and Faith takes it. This time, Faith is like, no. We're not going to talk. We're not, no.
It's like, fuck what you heard. You're not doing this right, Buffy.
She's like, how safe were they with you when you took them to the vineyard?
Bloop.
How safe was Rona?
Bloop.
And what's Buffy's response? She punches her in the face. And then we get what may be the second cutest moment. And I'm not talking about Andrew riding on the back of Spike's motorcycle. I'm talking about the fact that Spike still has the football helmet that he gave to Dawn to ride on the back of the motorcycle at the beginning of the season.
It's kind of pissing me off, though. Like, you could have stolen an
That's not safe.
all this time.
That is not going to save anybody from dying. Look what happens to football players when they get hit in the head. I mean...
Do better, be better.
Be better. But they have a cute little conversation on the road about Andrew wants to stop for snacks. He didn't get his Hot Pocket. He's hungry.
Still hungry.
And they have a cute little discussion about a bloomin' onion, which I learned from Spike. You have to put in some cold water for about an hour before you freeze it, or before you fry it.
Exactly. It's like cooking with Spike.
And then we go to the Summers house, and Faith is outside smoking, because that's a lovely habit she picked up in jail. And she meets Robin. And they have some words.
Which, yep.
She flirts with everybody. But they have a little conversation about Buffy and Faith history. And Robin knows a lot more than I thought he would. He knows quite a bit. I would expect, and I don't know how he got this information. I don't think that Buffy would have told him a lot of this, and it's not like he worked at the council and it was in some journal he could have read. He would have only had his mother's journals.
Right.
So I don't know how he knows this backstory, but he gives her a little confidence that she needs, a little confidence boost that I think she needs. And it's at this point that Xander comes home.
Aww.
And Spike and Andrew go to the church and they find a very frightened priest. And I don't care about the rest of this storyline because I don't understand why this plot line happened in this episode. It's so dumb, and I don't feel that they particularly learned anything of useful knowledge. But Xander comes home and all the potentials are there, and they put up a cute little sign, and everyone's so happy to see him. And Buffy comes downstairs and she's like, "Ew, you're here. Oh, I gotta deal with my feelings."
I'm confused as to why he's been released from the hospital
too.
so late in the day. Like, what? It's got to be like midnight
And so
at this point in
soon.
time, maybe 1
Like,
a.m.
that just happened like 2 days
Right.
ago. Isn't it still ishy?
You lost a whole eye. You lost a whole eye. I feel like you still need medical attention.
And instead of like getting on that Xander's home train and celebrating the fact that he's home and not dead and that he's got one good eye left, Buffy's like, okay, we need to go back to the vineyard. And everyone is kind of like, what? And then, like I said, we keep going back and forth to this priest. And this poor priest, he's just like, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. I'm so scared. And Spike is just like, calm down. Just tell us. He sees Caleb's ring is burned into the priest. And he's like, oh, you're a victim. Come here, Boo Thing. Tell me what. Tell Papa Spike what had happened. And this poor priest is like, so what had happened was Caleb came here and he killed everybody and I ran like a bitch and I'm not sorry about it.
It's like, yes, you hold on. You wear that proudly, sir. Yep. You wear that badge proudly.
You survived.
You survived.
It is fine. Somebody had to tell the story. So, I mean, basically, it's right. Right. We needed somebody to give us this exposition. And Spike does find, he finds out that there's a message there that something is not for Caleb to wield. And that's why Caleb got mad and he killed everybody. It was because the thing was not for him to wield. It was for her to wield alone. Okay, great. Yeah.
He's the purest evil. Also.
It's like, okay, this is pretty important. We need to get back to Sunnydale and tell Buffy right away.
Right. Which, yeah, how far away was
this?
Right,
but like, at the beginning of the season, Buffy bought Dawn a cell phone for emergencies. So you're telling me that neither Andrew or Spike could have taken a phone with them to just call Buffy with the info on the way back?
The way they misused and mishandled cell phone availability at this period of time.
Right? It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yes. I remember. She gave her that cell phone. Yes. And so clearly Dawn is not using it to call up any friends and whatnot because they're all there living under the house or they're dead or gone or whatever.
So I'm thinking they should have given it to Spike.
That's so dumb.
To call back. Mm-hmm.
That's so messed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's so rude.
And so back at the house, everything is going bad. It's going from like bad to worse. And, Buffy is like, look, there's something at the vineyard. I know it. We have to go there. And Faith is like, I don't think so. This is a really bad idea. We're not going to do this. And no, we're not doing this. And the girls are all like, yeah, maybe it's time that Faith had a chance to lead. And Faith is like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, slow down.
Whoa. I was just letting y'all know this was a bad plan. I wasn't trying to box in I wasn't trying to be the leader here.
Yeah, everyone seems to agree. And for the most part, they all have their points. They all have, except for one. I'm going to need Rona to watch her damn mouth about stuff that she knows nothing about.
Seriously, Rona?
You about to get these hands.
I love the energy, but I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you to bring it back. Bring it back, baby. Come on.
You really did.
Where you were for a second. Let's just calm down.
You really forgot. Because this is grown people business. And, So they fight and they fight and they fight. And this goes on for quite some time. Until Xander steps in. And he says, which is my burn of the week.
Like chills, just chills.
Buffy, I'm trying to see your point.
Yeah.
But it must be a little to my left.
Oh. That's like the sickest burn for the whole entire series.
That's Obama mic drop.
You win, sir.
I don't know that we'll have another burn, anybody, because...
No. What do you say to that, Buffy? How do you respond to that? How do you react? At that point, she should have been like... Fair. Yeah. Yep. Whatever y'all say. You right. My bad. It was on me.
Yep. But instead, no, she doesn't. She doubles down on that shit.
Down.
And She basically is telling them that she's the leader and they need to fall in line. That's not how you approach this situation, Buffy. That's not how, no. And at one point, Faith has a really good line herself where she's talking to her about, she doesn't want to lead, and it's not even about that. The question is, can Buffy follow? And that's what it truly boils down to.
That is an excellent
Can Buffy
point.
follow? And she cannot.
Right. And I also love the point that Anya makes. Like, Buffy's like, I'm the leader, I'm the Slayer. And Anya's like, yeah, you're the Slayer because of legacy, but are you any better? Like, do we really actually know that you're the best option here?
And one thing I don't understand about this whole scene is Robin has met Faith once. And right away, he is on her. Like, he is like, excuse me, I believe Faith had the floor. Excuse you. You, like Rona, are also in grown folk business. Right.
Who let you in the house?
I don't remember asking you over, sir. And then Giles just puts the coup de grace to the whole situation, letting everybody know that Buffy said that nobody got her back but Spike. Yeah. It's like, oh shit. Everybody's temperature in the room changed at that moment. Rona got in her feelings. She was like, I am sick of you and this man Spike and this shit. I've had enough. And for some reason, Dawn, out of everyone, is just like, enough. Buffy, I love you. But you got to get the hell out of my house. Because it's my house too. And you're right. We need to do this as a team. And you're not part of that right now. So you got to go. And she's so calm about it that Buffy is immediately just like, all right.
Right.
And just leaves. And it's, yeah. Because she does take a beat to like look around at the entire, she looks at Willow, and Willow is just like stone-faced, not even sympathetic, which usually Willow would have been uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I think it's because there is a moment where she's trying to be that sympathetic Willow, and Kennedy bites her fucking head off. Mm-hmm. Why are you always on her side? All I said was, well...
I'm just gonna go get some tea. Damn, y'all are...
And so Buffy leaves, and Faith goes after her, and she's like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I meant.
Like, honestly, like, look, I'm not trying to be anybody's leader. I'm not trying to be a role model. That's not what I do.
And Buffy tells her, don't be afraid to lead them. Because, I saw somebody say it on Instagram today. Everybody is scared of their own potential. That's everybody's biggest fear. You are scared of your own potential because if you, for 1 second, believe that you can do it, then you actually have to do it. You have to get up and do that thing that you're scared of. And that's Faith to a T. She's scared to be a leader because then she has to do it. And she can do it. I know she can.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And so Buffy cries in her feelings and she walks off and she leaves behind that house that she has known as a home in Sunnydale since she's got there. But that is the end of Empty Places. And it sets up probably some of the best monologues in the entire show in the next episode in Touched from Spike.
Yeah.
Is it a good episode? It's all right. Does it rank high in my favorite episodes? Definitely not.
I think
I'm tied. So they're both from Nerf Herder, and it's either Rock City News, which is playing the first time you see them at the Bronze, or there's also one I think called Mr. Spock that's playing the second time you see them at the Bronze. Both very catchy, very good on the Buffy soundtracks. I like them both.
And we've talked about our burns, and yes, the Faith's bit about when she talks about learning their names.
Because there's... Yes.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time to
Or
buy
to
them
learn
drinks
their
and take them
names.
dancing, or learn their names. Like,
You are
Faith,
spicy.
you spicy.
Now, oddly, I don't know if this is a first for this season. No one died in this episode. There were no bodies dropped. Not even the cops.
Not
She
even the
just
cops.
beat him up real
Not
good.
even the cops. Yeah.
Oh, does it pass the back? I guess so. I guess it does.
Yeah, it does, because there's so much about the girls are talking about
Yeah.
Buffy and talking about Faith and blah blah blah. So yes, it does. So one of the 10
Yeah,
Buffy
that passed the
episodes
Bechdel test.
passed the Bechdel
The
test.
random trivia this week, we touched on it briefly, was that one of the police officers in the beginning and middle of the episode, he is in a wonderful season 3 episode called Billy. He actually portrays Billy. It is such a good episode. So
such a
Billy
good
Blim
episode.
has the power to turn men against women merely by their touch. And
And just what happens with like fucking Lila and
oof,
like that whole.
it is a
yeah.
good one. And
It's
Wesley.
a good one. It's a
Talking
good one.
about when men go evil and being super attracted to it. Why do I get all up in my feelings about when he turns on Fred?
right?
Like,
Getting a little sweaty. Getting a little
and
sweaty.
that folks was a spell to turn Wesley evil. We get treated to Wesley actually being evil in season 4 when he ties a lady up in his closet and gave her a bucket. And threatened to take away that bucket.
Yo, still my most
Ever.
favorite character arc ever.
Yep.
Wesley Wyndham
Yep.
Price.
I'm going to need somebody to do
History of
like
television.
okay, I'm going
He
to
is
put this
number
request
one.
out there to all of our wonderful fans and Patreons out there to create Kahmeela and I a super cut of Wesley Wyndham Price's character arc for us to react to. We'll watch it. You send it to us, send it to the Gmail, and we will watch it here for the Patreon.
Ooh,
Yes.
I love that. I want that. So
Yeah.
so I know you people do that stuff all the time with like the
all that
Instagrams
stuff.
and the TikToks and whatnot. I've seen a lot of stuff for Dean
cool with that.
Winchester, which I'm cool with. That's a good
Moral
one.
of this story,
I
we
have
got one.
friends in- You can.
Don't stab your friends in the back. Open communication. Open.
I feel like this is like a running theme where
She just
Buffy's
kinda
concerned.
sucks.
Like she
She
just kind of
does.
sucks at being a friend.
She absolutely does.